Hi there, it's Laura here. Today I want to talk you through all the metrics you need to know to understand your CoverageBook report. So let's start with an online article. You'll see there are two main sections on this page. On the left-hand side, there are metrics of the publication as a whole. And on the right-hand side, the metrics are more specific to that particular article. So let's start with these top publisher level metrics. Now, unique visits look at how many different people visit that website over the course of a month. For this, we use SimilarWeb. We have found of all our research that is the most accurate provider of website traffic data. We also know that this does fluctuate over the year, so we use 1 month prior to when you insert that clip. Now, the other number is domain authority, and this looks at how influential this site is in the eyes of Google and other search engines. We use Moz, which is well recognised in the SEO and digital marketing space. And the score here is out of 100. So the higher it is, the more influential the site is in Google. So now let's have a look at the article level metrics, which are on the right-hand side. Now, first up is estimated coverage views. And as the name suggests, this is an estimation of how many people will see that piece of coverage in its lifetime. And yes, it is an estimation. However, we have worked on this algorithm for many years now, and it's been tried and tested by many people, and we have been told it's pretty accurate. It's a great metric to get your head around, because once you do, it means that your PR activity can be likened to other marketing activity that uses page level metrics such as impressions. So what is involved in this metric? First of all, we look at the size and the influence of the website. So we look at the domain authority and unique visits that I spoke about earlier. However, we then start to dig a bit deeper. So we have a look to see, for these unique visits, how many pages that's across. So websites where it's across more pages, fewer people will see each page. Whereas if you had a website which had high traffic but only a few pages, we can assume more people will be reading each of those pages. We also take the URL and we have a look to see if it's a homepage URL or whether your article is further down. Again, if it's on the homepage, we'll assume that more people will be able to see it. Lastly, we look at the engagements on social media. So if the article's been shared more on social channels, we can assume that more people will therefore be accessing and reading it. Now, the other things that we collect for page level is we give you the engagements figure. And this is great to include on your reports because it shows how many people read the article and then took action and shared it. So it sees that people are actually engaging with your article that you put out there. And lastly, if you have a brand or a website that you are tracking, you can pop that in the back end and then we can scan the article to see how many links there are back to that website. Now, this is great for two reasons. Firstly, because it gives the audience somewhere to click through to read more. But secondly, it's great for SEO to have links in your coverage. So if you know that you have any SEO marketers reading your reports, definitely include this because they will be impressed. So now let's head on over to a social post so I can talk through what metrics we can gather for you here. Now, first up, you'll see that it's very similar to that of an online post. You'll have the influencer or subscriber details in the grey box and then metrics more specific to that post on the right hand side. So first up is estimated views. For this, we take into account the overall channel followers or subscribers, but we use industry research here, which shows having more followers doesn't necessarily mean you'll reach more people. Accounts with fewer followers tend to reach a higher percentage of each of their followers. So that's all taken into account. We then have a look at the engagement rate of this post and whether it's higher or lower than usual. So we then factor that in. And this then gives us an estimated views for a social post. If you are adding something like YouTube, X or TikTok, it's great news that we can pull actual views here rather than estimated views. So where we can pull the actual views, we will. The other metrics we get on this page are engagements. So again, that shows how many people have looked at this post and then taken action. So now that we understand the metrics at clip level, we can head on over to the metrics summary to choose which ones we want to display overall. First up is coverage counts. So that is simply a count of how many pieces of coverage you have. You can have this overall, or you can break this down per platform. Coverage views looks at the estimated views figure that I talked you through earlier. And again, you can look at this overall or break it down by platform. Engagements is how many comments, likes and shares that each piece has had. And again, you can break this down by platform. The audience looks at the overall publisher figures. So for an online article, that's the unique visits. And for social, that's how many followers or subscribers. Domain authority is that DA score I talked you through from Moz, and you can choose to have average domain authority or the maximum. If you've added any custom metrics, you'll see these up next. Underneath this is backlinks. So when I said if you add a website at the back end, we can count how many links you have. And here you can choose from the amount of coverage that links or the total number of links you have in all the coverage. And lastly, if you can add a custom metric summary card if there is a metric that's not displayed here. So that's it. I hope you have found this helpful in understanding the metrics that are in your report. If you do have any more questions, you can email me and the team at support@coveragebook.com, and we're more than happy to get back to you.